GM, welcome to AI June, the first edition. In this round, we are going to work with non-devs, non-developers who have single projects that are and have taken at least somewhere around a day to build a project. Oops, I have this one live here. Looks like we're started on YouTube too. So yeah, and the first contest, everyone here is going to help us out by asking questions. We're going to have 5 minutes of presentation and then 1 to 2 minutes of questions and answers. The goal of this was to really dive into AI and see how a non-developer could actually use it to improve their work habits and just like build something really cool. So first up is Zeptimus. So let's get this party started. Zep, do you want to share screen or anything like that?
Yeah, I think I'll share my screen. I need to here. I think this screen is good. So yeah, like the idea, like normally the way I'm using AI is like to help me to pitch anything. Like I'm talking to someone, like I think like a product or services that General Magic is offering. And then for this project, what I was doing is like feed the AI with like all the projects we have in General Magic. Like if we go at the beginning, like it's like pairwise, praise, swag shop, development service, design services, and gas grants as a service. So I feed the AI with all the projects like General Magic have, and the idea with this is like I was testing it here before. So the idea is like, yeah, you just come up with like even like okay, like the idea is like bring context to the AI. So for example, like Optimist team have this round of RFPG, and the badge holders had a lot of time assigning percentages to the. I just invented the number. I don't know how many there were. So pitch pairwise, I still also like not pairwise because he was typing it this way before. And then yeah, the idea is like he comes up with a pitch for any situation. And yeah, I think it's worth also reading like what he's saying here. Just a couple of seconds, just so you can read it. So and yeah, and then the idea is like, and even if you like give like very bad like of course like the best content you give to the AI, the best the result. But I was like, did create a successful project, but his UX and design could you pitch something for design? And then yeah, he came with like fantastic ideas. But the cool thing about this is like the more context you give to the AI, the better the response is going to be. And yeah, I think like also like I can share my experience on how I'm doing it. So normally, like when I have to respond to a forum post or making a proposal, I like to dive into all the information we have for this thing, and then just come up with an objective. Actually, like I can also share something like I had like some love in the forum in Optimism. So I was using this strategy here. Is this one? Sorry, here. So basically, here we were having like a problem with Optimism, and because like we were presenting like suppose like we were kind of breaking the rules according to Lavande, and she said she said what she wanted. So what I did in order to get a good response here is like I just grabbed all these forum posts, all the comments, and also like I was using a chat where also like, but honestly, like for this use case, like just the response is great. I'm telling the AI, this is what's going on, and I'm also telling this is the result I want, and then the AI just comes, she just makes the wording for you, and it's such a great experience. And yeah, but going back to the project, I don't know, like if anyone's in the chat have like any use case like you would like to try, I think that'd be fun. So we like remember like the only things we added to the database is like all General Magic products. So if you have like a fictitious scenario, like like you wanted to pitch something to someone. If not, I would like, if there's nothing in the chat, I would come up with something. Yeah, I'll try to. I'm in the right place. Correct. So let's say. And this is very general. Like if I get like more specific, like even like if I say praise would help them. I mean, this is already on the data, but I just need like a. But yeah, let's just go, because I cannot come up with something fast right now. But yeah, and here is like just creating a pitch. I mean, of course, like if I put names, I put more context, like it's going to be better results. But the idea is like, yeah, we have all this data for all these projects, and then he just like have all the, yeah, all the wording like we need.
And ChatGPT actually knows praise?
No, but the thing is, like, I was like what I did on this.
I see. You already gave it the context.
I gave him the context for all of GM products. Like I was for Notion, like, you know, for gas. I also put the Twitter thread of Ana Marie. Like I was just feeding the AI with all the General Magic projects and all the context like possible. And then, you know, I was just like failing at getting like some good use cases, like, you know, concrete stuff. But, you know, for optimism was great because like it's a real scenario. I actually perform better when the scenarios are real. But you know, it's a great way to, you know, use AI to get what you want.
Nice. Your response, by the way, in that optimism thread was perfect. It really was optimal. I also couldn't tell that AI wrote it, which is my main question. I don't know if anyone else has a question, but how do you prevent? I feel like what happens too much is people use ChatGPT and it's just really obvious. There's something about the way ChatGPT writes that's like, you can tell it's ChatGPT. How do you recommend people, like, you know, when you use something like this, what do you do after ChatGPT gives a response? Do you edit it heavily, or like, do you just copy paste?
I normally, like, what I do is like, when I don't like the response, I tell ChatGPT to send me on different ways. And sometimes I'll say to ChatGPT, okay, give me 10 examples of this or this reply. And I actually like do like a puzzle. I do, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And sometimes I do some editing, but you know, it's like mostly it's ChatGPT, man.
That's cool. Well, it doesn't look like anyone else has any questions. So let's, I don't know if Alman, we can bring everyone back out and we can give Zefti a round of applause. Just a huge, it takes a lot of guts to get out here and present, especially when you're telling people your secret sauce for what makes your work work. So major round of applause for Zefti. Next on the list, oh no, I said who it was and now I forgot. It is Nicola. So Nicola's next. Let's throw 5 minutes on the clock. And you can start whenever you're ready, Nicola.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. Wow, that's not what I wanted. But guys, I hope you see my screen because I lost the main StreamYard window. But this is the tweet thread that I discovered thanks to Sam. that is giving a beautiful tutorial on how to make QR codes into art. And I was thinking, wow, this looks so cool. And I mean, I've been using ChatGPT for helping me to create tweets for verified projects that we put every month on the Twitter. So I thought, why not to try make it into QR code this time instead of giving the URL links. And this is what I came up with. So basically, I follow the steps. I created my QR codes on this website for free. I came into this Run Diffusion online software. Basically, I paid like $10 for having hours and hours of work. And based on this tweet thread, I used all the settings that it gave me in order to be able to create this cool and fun QR codes. I tried all of them works. All of them work. It was literally painful because not all of them works, but sometimes the art that it comes up with is just stunning. So I'm going to show you what I have, and basically we can even use it for the next tweet thread. I want to make it a little bit bigger so you enjoy the beautiful designs. And basically, I used all my time that usually takes me to create the tweet threads. But I don't spend much time on creating the tweet thread because ChatGPT writes it really great for me. So I just come in and edit. And this time somebody, actually Steve was like faster and he came in and edited all the written words. So I came in and actually posted this beautiful QR codes that we can replace instead of these links. And yeah, that's the main hack and main idea of my projects, like making art into cool QR codes. And yeah, I guess questions.
Yeah, so man, this is so cool. I tried to scan. Oh yeah, go ahead, Almond. You can go first.
Sorry. Yeah, I have a question. So, but when you mean adding QR codes with this design to your tweets, maybe I lost this part, but which will be the page or what would be the destination that you think would be cool for people to use the QR codes, or like what would be specifically the use case?
Well, I was thinking that we can just put it together with the tweet thread as we're posting about the verified projects. So this QR code is literally the link to the projects where people can go and donate directly. So every project has its own. I guess we could combine it with the website link. So it's like more functional in all the ways possible. But if someone is like looking on their Twitter on their computer and see this picture, if they scan it, it takes them directly to the donation page. So we could just include it into the Twitter thread.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Have you noticed any trouble scanning them? Because like I was able to get one of them to work. Oh yeah, I got that one to work too. Retso.
Yeah. Lots of, honestly, like I don't know if this is the best use for future. It would definitely need some improvements, and some of the projects took a long time to find out the best option, the best prompt. That was like what I found challenging was the figuring the best prompt. So it does give me more concrete things, and also sometimes the edges were blurry, and yeah, it maybe sometimes took like 10 images, 10 regenerations before it gave me actually something that works. So I don't think that it's super like a productive tool to use for like long term. Maybe we can include it in one thread and see, hey, this is just like, something you can do. Or we can find a different use for it than putting it into the tweet thread. But yeah, that's the downside of it. And basically, I've put some examples of the prompts that I used. Basically, all the prompts started as a masterpiece and best quality, and then depending on what I was able to visualize. And maybe ChatGPT could help me for next time to actually define the best types of prompts so this doesn't take so long. But yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it seems like for a tweet thread, it's like only a one-off use case. Do you have any other use cases in mind of like add it to their project page or add it to other things? Like
Yes, I mean, Sam had a really cool idea today when I was showing that maybe we could offer it as one of the services that projects for, I don't know, can buy it for like 50 tokens or something silly, or just like very reasonable for if projects would wanted to include this into their project page and make it maybe as a QR code that would take the people into their websites. Those are just things that I'm like shooting right now. I guess after brainstorming, we can come up with more interesting ideas.
so we only have like 30 seconds left. Sam has a quick question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Could you use like some image like you have your own, like to create like, let's say, a PayWest QR code, a Praise QR code, a Giveth QR code? I think that would be super cool. Like, do you think that's possible?
Right now, within 30 seconds?
No,
No.
I mean, if it's like, even if it takes an hour, like, is that possible to create?
For sure, yeah.
With like
I can,
with
yeah.
like a pre-generated image instead of like a computer generated, but like, hey, here's the Giveth logo, add that to the QR code.
Yeah, the thing is that this rent diffusion application only provides like 30 minutes for free, and then I can show you like it's actually super cheap after all, but it's not for free completely. Yeah, basically you can create the QR code for free, and then to be able to put it into this art, you have to come to this page, and this is basically the tariffs. So 50 cents per hour of using this tool with 5 gigabytes of memory, and then you can create a lot. Or as a new user, you have like half an hour for free. So basically you can create few designs in that and then use it. So I guess I could create some more QR codes for Giveth in general, and we can keep using them.
I think the specific question though is, can you take the Giveth logo and make that into the QR code and merge the two and not have it generate an image? Or is it only image generation?
It's more, from my understanding, it's more of a Giveth generation. And
Okay.
I guess there's a way using a different tool than this control net. But
yeah. And Sam has a good question too about demoing it, but maybe you could demo it later because I think we're out of time. Sorry,
yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
But if we have time at the end, I'd love to see you demo the Stable Diffusion to actually do them.
Okay.
So let's give Nicola a round of applause. Unmute. Make those claps. Yeah. Oh, thank you. And thank you, Almond, for bringing everyone back for the claps. Next is Yas. Yas, I'm excited to see what you're coming up with. We'll put 5 minutes on the clock, and you can start whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. So maybe a quick intro. I was actually curious what everyone else is going to present, because AI sounds sophisticated, and I was wondering what I should present, but my project is very similar to Zepti, and I've been using ChatGPT pretty much for majority of the latest grants that we have been producing, and most of them is kind of in a way that helps me to save time and be more effective and quick in generating the grants. As you can see on my left side, many of the prompts I have here is like grant proposal, mantle, pomelo. And the latest one that I actually want to show you here is regarding the optimism grant that we were working on. since this was quite a huge topic. But a little bit of a background how I started with that. So the grant that we were working on was regarding the Impact DAO, and we were working on that for Ethereum Foundation. And thanks to that, we actually had a good base of a lot of information for that particular grant and for that particular topic. So it's like 12 pages of information. And another full document about the Impact DAO 3-month course program that we wanted to launch. If you're curious, this is the Optimism post that Gil kindly took the lead for that. You can read about it as well and give it some love and some comment. But coming to the ChatGPT part of it, so basically, first of all, I had this problem also with ChatGPT that is very robotic and monotonous, and it looks like ChatGPT. So I kind of took from previous proposals and topics that we were writing and gave it like an example that this is what we normally sound like, and how do you describe the tone? And then it kind of gives me, okay, this is the tone. So I'm saying, okay, keep this tone and let's work later on the meat of the topic and what we're going to do with the grant. So I always make sure that I'm also asking it if everything is clear, do you understand? Because I don't want to go back and forth and it just confuses the whole thing. So then I started feeding from the original grant for the Impact DAO more information about the milestone summaries, and I asked it to improve it, make it more clear and more transparent, and keep sticking to the tone and the way of writing and the character that we have. So it was long. It was a 5 milestone kind of a project. So we went through that with ChatGPT. And at the end, I asked it to produce a one-liner for the grant. So like, what would be the title for that? And then I told it that, okay, we are working for this grant with Optimism. I gave it a very quick summary of the intent, what it is about. And I asked it to generate the explanation that's based on what we worked on in the previous milestones and the overall grant topic, how we could use that to accomplish this intent or this mission for this particular Optimism intent. So it gave me a couple of long response. There's obviously a lot of problems, so going back and forth, making sure that like the explanation is clear. So I kind of explained that this is not correct, refer more to the milestones in the description above. So it went back and it reviewed it, and it was okay and it worked. Then I asked, okay, everything is perfect. Now I want to summarize the whole thing. So I asked it to make it a more bulletproof summary and like reduce the whole thing, improving the paragraphs if I find some points that it doesn't make sense or I want to kind of change the tone or change a couple of things. So I just take the thing, that particular problematic paragraph, and I ask it to basically improve it or make it more less formal, more friendly, more optimistic, and so on. And particular question as well, that we have this problem that there's a deadline, for example, with accomplishing it, considering this is the problem. How can you explain that this grant is like a huge program and it would go beyond the deadline? This is the response, and then improve it and summarize it. And pretty much that's the case that I'm usually using with ChatGPT. And at the end, I definitely do have to go back and still fix a couple of things manually. But yeah, this is the way that I approach it. And that's what I did also with Pomelo, for example. This was more of a project that kind of was finalized very quickly. So I just said, I'm applying for this grant with Pomelo. This is the description about grant. This is the description that Pomelo wants, and just give
We're out
me
of time. I saw some Chinese in there.
Yeah,
That's
because
so
as
cool.
I said, like Pomelo also said, if you want to have more reach, write it also in Chinese and in Korean, and I asked it to basically translate the whole thing into Chinese and Korean.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
So yeah.
I have a quick question from Almond. I don't know if Almond wants to come in here and say it, but oh yeah, go for it, Almond.
I have a question. So this kind of information is very recent. Do you think that ChatGPT has problems because you know that it's only updated on up to 2021 to maybe get the accurate information for these kind of requests or prompts?
Yeah, sometimes. For example, I wanted to write something about ZK Cache, and it was not very up to date with what they're doing. So I had to kind of give it more information manually, like this is what they're doing, this is the whole thing, what's it about, and kind of just tailored it to the specific information there without it having this overview from the website and the most up-to-date information kind of on the net globally. But yeah, there is a problem with that, but particularly for grant writing that I am doing, it's not such a huge challenge or obstacle.
Okay, thanks.
Nice. Well, we're a little bit over on time, so I think we should move on to the next one. But that is super cool. I love to see how, I mean, I got to review the Impact Out grant, and I could not really tell. I could tell some parts of it were a little ChatGPT heavy, but for the most part, I didn't really understand how huge of an influence ChatGPT was on that grant. So well done, Yas. Let's bring everyone in here so we can give Yas a big round of applause. Yeah. Well done. Well done. And to finish us off today, we have Monique. I guess not today. To finish us off today, we have another round. Oh, yeah, it is today. We have another round tomorrow with the other half of the crew. But you're the last presentation today, Monique. So I'm excited to see what you were able to pull out.
Yeah, okay, I can share my screen and let you know how I use this ChatGPT. Okay, as far as you know, there's GPT-4 that has some plugins in it, and some cool plugins are, you know, the Web Pilot and Link Reader. The Link Reader is, you know, is huge. I think, you know, I can put, for example, I'm using this prompts here. For example, ChatGPT create list of epics and list of detailed user stories for this project in a table for developers. And as you can see, I just pasted the GitHub, you know, RFP or from Math Science that this idea was the referral incentives for OP, you know. And you can easily see that ChatGPT reads this proposal and creates list of issues and epics for developers. You know, it helped me a lot as a product manager to scope it, you know, in a high level point and see what should I, you know, do on work on specific epics there. As you can see, you know, it's magic happens. Epic 1, the user stories. Epic 2, the user story. And, you know, you can see all this stuff. And I can even go further and, you know, ask him to provide the test scenarios for each epics. So for a specific projects, can I have the list of epics and issues and user stories? So why I do not ask ChatGPT to create them in ZenHub and boards. So to do this stuff, I was thinking about building kind of, you know, PM assistant stuff. And I went to, you know, this beautiful Postman studio. Postman is a kind of, you know, UI for calling all the web services. So I just used the key and I imported all collections for OpenAI here, as you can see. And besides, it's interesting that I found the ZenHub public GraphQL APIs. And there is, but these two methods are different. You know, this is the REST and this is the GraphQL. So it's because I got in trouble, I'm not going to be prepared to present all of this stuff to you. But if you can see, for example, you can call all the issues in this collection: fish issue by pipeline, fish issue by info. And I was thinking that I create an app to mix all these two together to create issues. For example, when I go right now to the chat here, and for example, try to create a message, let me call it in a body. So I can use this, for example, content here. Let me erase all of this. So, for example, the content can be the same that I ask in the ChatGPT UI. But for example, right now, who's the word series in 220? Who won the word series? So I get request, and the answer is here. So I can mix these two up. For example, I can ask devs to create an app that I have this output from ChatGPT, and use another mutuation here in ZenHub to create issues out of this list. If you can take a look, for example, epics. Here we go. Update ZenHub epics, create epics on roadmap. And you can see that, there is a service here that I can use it and create the list of. I could not work with it because I just set up it for today, but I'm better if I work with it a little bit more, I can create a kind of PM assistant here that I can create lots of issues together. And another usage that I have, for example, I'm just want to spec the things out with pictures when I want to spec it. And for example, I can easily have a kind of, what do you call it? A screenshot from this spec things that I created, kind of, what do you call it? And I just can paste it in my desktop, and I need to upload it somewhere, and I use ZenHub for uploading this picture. It's a kind of test, and I can use, for example, oh, my bad. Sorry, guys, I have to go to my desktop.
It's okay. You're out of time, but I really want to see what you're going to do with this image. So keep going. Keep going.
Okay. I uploaded it. So we have this. Oh, no. Okay, I was thinking that...
It just you didn't give it the time to upload. So, it like had to... You can try it again. Just wait. You gotta wait. Yeah, there. Now it's ready.
Yeah, it's ready. So I have this picture uploaded, and I can use the same, ChatGPT prompt. Not the same, maybe some new ChatGPT prompt that, hey, use your plugins, read this beautiful chart, and list all epics or issues for this project. And with this simple prompt, I can have at least a list of features for this specific project. It helped me a lot to do this stuff. Sorry for being blank. I think you have to wait to see the identity verification, OP Explorer, registration, and I can play with prompts to have more details on the specific issues, and also put them in a table.
That is so cool. I did not realize ChatGPT could read images like that. It's amazing. Okay, well, let's. Anyone have any questions for Monique? I guess. Bring Monique back. Where's Monique?
Monique left for some reason.
Oh no, Monique, come back. He doesn't want to answer any questions.
Maybe he was trying to get off his screen and then he just leave.
Very likely. Very likely. Well, I think it's super cool to be able to just throw in a picture to ChatGPT like that through a link. That's really nice. And also the project management direction of like making issues. Yeah, Monique, you're back.
Sorry, I just want
Does anyone have any questions for Monique? Have you used this? So you used it for the referral program. What other projects have you used this kind of technique for?
I'm just playing with all repos related to the general magic right now, to have them listed together in this APIs UI. But for pairwise, I used it. For this referral program, I use it a lot when I prepare something as a proposal. But I was thinking about, I even create a repo, but it's not working right now, to start implementing this PM assistant, but it's not finished yet. So I hope I can do it soon.
That's so cool. Do you think that you will pursue the PM assistant as something to save yourself time?
I think maybe I need some developer assistance, but yeah, I'm continuing on it because it helps a lot, specifically for huge projects altogether. And we have lots of other edits of issues with different repos. It helps me better to, I think, for prioritization and create issues or list put issues and all other stuff.
That's very cool. Well, let's give Monique a round of applause. Wow. Oh, we got wow. Ooh. Well, thank you all for coming. Oh, wait, actually, we still had Nicola. Some had a question about actually demoing your QR generation. I don't know if you have the opportunity to just give us a quick demo before we run away.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want, guys, I have it pretty much ready. I'm just going to have to do the settings again so you can watch it with me, but we should be able to do it within like 5 minutes. Let me share the right screen. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so here we are in the run diffusion. I'm gonna have to finish a couple settings. I started the prompt already. Okay, this is correct. Let me upload the Giveth QR and we're gonna experiment.
Can you share the screen?
Am I sharing it?
Mm-mm.
You don't see my screen? How come?
Now
No.
we do.
Now you do?
Yeah. And if you
And
make
if I
your window a little bit taller, then it'll fill the screen a little bit better.
Which window?
Like the window that you're sharing? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so enable processor harmonious brightness here.
It's the same technology that we used in April AI in order to do an alien with the same pose as Lauren. If you remember that.
Totally.
Oh.
I remember it. It was called stable diffusion though, not run diffusion. I guess it's the same group.
Actually, run diffusion is it's a commercial service that allows you to run stable diffusion. And ControlNet, it's the same thing. The difference here is that back then we used open pose in order to pick the pose of a person. In this case, we are using another kind of ControlNet, which it's more for understanding where should the image be filled. You can. Go ahead, Nico.
I will experiment and see what happens if I give it.io logo. What happens?
And what what were you adjusting below? Like those are just like random knobs. Do you actually know what those do?
I believe that they do adjust the way how it's somehow how the QR code is blended with the visual, with the image, because when I was having a troubles with making the QR code readable, after adjusting these, I figured that that's actually what helps. So that's what somehow coordinating the edges of the QR code picture. But this is mainly the settings that I read in the Twitter thread from that simple tutorial. But yeah, I guess if I spend more time playing with it, I might figure out more. So let's see what happens. What else? Let's go generate. That would be cool if it knows Giveth logo. Oh my God, what?
Okay, I think that it's there are some settings below that
This
are not working. Yeah,
this
that was one, and
yeah, I think that was where.
and also below you also need to put the
Oh, here I got it.
yeah.
Yes. This was the noun. I did it here. Yes. Let's see now. It doesn't seem to know Giveth logo.
Okay. Okay, it looks pretty cool. What you can try as well is the image to image part.
What do you mean?
That in the top there is a tab, because what you are doing right now is text to image. If you go in the top.
In the dock.
In the top, yes. Here where you are, there is text to image.
Yeah, that one.
And there is image to image. So with image to image, I think that you can do. I don't have. I think that we should just test it, because nobody tested it yet, right?
We don't need to demo it now, but it's still super cool. This Run Diffusion app. I mean, if it can make a QR code, the options are like almost limitless with this tool. So it's really cool. Thanks for introducing it to us, Nicola, and thank you all for coming to AI June. Let's give everyone a round of applause who presented, because it's fun to clap mostly. It's really fun, right? And thank you all for coming. We will have another presentation tomorrow, and then prizes will be awarded. So thank you all for participating. It takes a lot of courage to get up here. Yeah, Monique?
I just put my workspace there. You can see it on the web, and you can fork it to be able to use both these web services together. I just want to share it with you.
Nice. And definitely put it in our Telegram chat. Nicola?
I just want to say that I'm a total like a digital technical dummy. Like this was the first time that I worked with such a sophisticated program. And like a lot of this I was able to do just based on this tutorial from Twitter and a little bit of a mentoring from Sam. So big praises to Sam. And I mean, like, this is amazing. So thanks for doing this.
Cool. Yeah, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you on Friday for the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.